All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Square Table UFC. Oh, I didn't think that sound came through. Welcome. We're here with Troy, as always,
Hello.
our expert UFC MMA fighter beatdown guy of the century, and of course, your boy Ray here. We're back for history again. Another historical situation right now. The first back-to-back huge fight card night. We had 324 last Saturday. We have 325 this Saturday. So much to talk about. It's crazy. Who knew Paramount could be positive in life, you know?
Yeah.
What's going on, Troy? How are you doing today? How's the things?
Things are going good, man. I'm excited to talk about the card. By the way, am I supposed to hear the music or not? I don't know.
Yes, I put some background music to kind of level it out because, you know, I don't want to hear dead music. So if it gets too much, if anybody in the chat doesn't like it, let me know. But I figure it's a nice little touch, make it chill.
I was just double checking on that one. All right, all good though. Yeah, excited for tonight, man. Another event, right? Another numbered event, which used to be a pay-per-view, back-to-back. I think it's the first time in history you've had back-to-back pay-per-views. So excited to talk about that, and last week as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where we're going to start this week. Or is going over 324. Pretty decent fight night, I'd say. Definitely had one of the best fights in a long time with Patty. I think that fight turned out to be what we expected it to be. But some controversies, and I think it has and we'll talk about it after we go over everything. But I think it has one of the bigger controversies because it affected with the eye poking.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's always a problem, man. It's always
but it seems to be getting worse because and we'll talk about it later. But I mean, I think there were 2 or 3 fights that really suffered from that and caused some issues. So let's go over our first fight of the night from 324: Umar versus Figueiredo. Yeah, we're starting strong. Obviously Umar just absolutely dominated. I mean, there was really no, we predicted that. I mean, we weren't really expecting it to go crazy. Umar landed 28 total strikes to Figgy's 1. He stopped some takedowns early, you know, almost had the guillotine, but after that he's just not the same, you know. He's not doing what he needs to do. What do you think of the fight? What do you think you liked? What didn't you like? And go from there.
Well, Umar, I mean, completely dominated, but in an extremely boring way. He kind of just throws kicks from the outside. He has good striking, but he's not very aggressive with it. And he's not like Khabib, where when he gets you down, you know, he's gonna beat you up really good, right? He's a lot more just, let me just hold you down and win the round type of guy. I'm not the biggest fan of that fight style. In fact, I really don't like it. And what's frustrating about that for me is he has so much talent that I think it's, I don't know. I'm not excited when I see him on the card, to be honest with you. Even though he's an excellent fighter.
You would think, like, you know, it's from that Nurmagomedov, all those like dudes fights that corner the camp. You would expect something big, something exciting, but I mean, hey, at the end of the day, what matters? The win, right? And we may not like it, we may not enjoy it. I know Dana is pushing for less fights like that, getting more striking, more violence out of it. But if it wins, it wins, and it's gonna give him a chance to maybe go for a title shot. I know we talked about it last week. Do you think he fights Peter Yan, or do you think he's gonna go get O'Malley a title shot? What do you think?
In the thing about fighting like that, it's not like football. It's not like NBA or NFL where if you win, you're guaranteed to move on towards the championship, right? The UFC they're the gatekeepers of who gets the title fights, no matter what your rank is, actually. So there's something to be said about winning convincingly and not in a boring manner, actually. That matters a lot when it comes to trying to get a title fight. So will he get a title fight? I kind of don't think so, honestly. I don't think so. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, we'll see. It's definitely going to be something we look forward to. We'll find out what his next stage is. Hopefully in a couple weeks or months, we'll find out. On to the next fight. Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen.
Yeah,
Allen looked pretty good at the start, looked pretty
he did.
strong. Thought he was going to just dominate, and then Silva kind of took over the fight after that. Going around, he just found his range, started pressuring more, landed his big shots. The thing about it, I think, is like Arnold would sting, and then Gene was just like, whatever, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep coming at you. And then, of course, at the end, Arnold's head got pushed down, stubbed in his back, jumped in the air like an eagle. Definitely not cool, but it was definitely funny. What did you think of the fight? What did you like? What you didn't like?
Yeah, for me, this was a little disappointing. I kind of expect a little more fireworks, but I'm not surprised at the decision. I thought Allen did better than in the first round, but after that, by round 3, he kind of stopped throwing punches and he was doing spinning elbows and all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, overall, not as exciting as the fight I was hoping for, but a good win from Gene Silva.
Did he break his hands?
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. What do you think's next for Silva?
Oh, I think he's going to move up the ranks. As far as who's going to fight next, I'm not totally sure. But he's a fighter where if he wins again up in the ranks, he'll get fast-tracked to a title fight if he keeps winning for sure.
All right. Yeah. Next one, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta defeating Derek Lewis. Bummer. I know I was going hard for the one-shot knockout, but unfortunately he was on the other end. TKO, round 2. 2 heavyweights. Obviously, it's like watching water and mud just fighting. But we got Lewis throwing some switch kicks to the body, even though he fell.
Right.
It just sucks. I feel like heavyweights, they should have a better showing, because I feel like they're always the biggest draw in fighting because they have the most power, the most strength.
Yeah, there's a few heavyweights that are really talented, but a lot of them are kind of just seem to be, if they get a knockout or they lose, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. So what we see, what we like, what's going on?
Disappointing. Big Derek Lewis fan as far as a personality. You could see his age. I think he's 40 now, and he just doesn't really have it anymore. I think it's like if he doesn't get a knockout in round 1, he's done, man. He kind of just gets really tired, and it almost seemed like he gave up, to be honest with you, when I was watching that fight.
I mean, when you get up there in that age, especially as a heavyweight, stamina is always the big thing. And when you don't have maybe the technical prowess that you used to have, you're just swinging, hoping for that big win and the knockout. And got to earn that fight bonus. You never know if you're going to get another shot. So a huge knockout can change that for you, especially in our class. But yeah, I was really disappointed. I wanted that one huge knockout punch. I will say I feel like it was a very technical fight card. There wasn't there was some good violence. Obviously, there was nothing like clip of the night kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was the one fight I was expecting, like a clip of the night, like something crazy is going to happen and do that. Do you think this does anything for Acosta, or is this just like another fight on the belt?
I think Acosta is fast-tracked to a title shot if he wins again. He's going to have to beat someone difficult, though, for him. I mean, not that Derek Lewis is not difficult, but Derek Lewis is 40, and, he's going to have to beat someone that is in the top 5 ranking. But if he does, there isn't a lot of the guys at the top have been fighting each other a lot. And so Waldo represents a new guy, and so they're always looking for that. So I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, you got Aspinall, which is something we'll talk about too, because there's a lot of news about him lately. Volkov is at the top, Pavlovich. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what. Go ahead. Sorry.
Those are the guys that there's like those guys, and then there's basically hardly any. I mean, I'm just from an observation. I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying observation. It doesn't seem like after those guys, the talent drop off is pretty huge. So maybe Waldo can fit in with those guys. That's what I think they want to see.
On a side note, why do you think the heavyweights are struggling with that? Like, you obviously have we'll say your top 5 or 6 fighters, and then it kind of dips from there. What do you think heavyweights need to do to get back into the king of the ring?
I think they just one observation is a lot of them rely on the knockout to win, And when you have that much power, you don't have to focus on your technique as much. You don't have to be well-rounded. So that's why someone like a John Jones moving up into heavyweight, who John Jones is very well-rounded, and Aspinall is well-rounded as well. Those guys are going to, probably dominate the division. Now, last fight, Aspinall and Gane fight, it was a close first round. We had the big eye poke, a horrible eye poke from Gane. That was really egregious, to be honest with you. 2, in fact, in the same round. But that being said, Gane is a very talented fighter. And Gane has a lot of technique. But I don't know why, really, but I think it's maybe they just rely on their power, and they don't. It's like the lighter weight guys, they're not like guaranteed a knockout when they hit somebody, So they have to be able to strike, wrestle, jiu-jitsu. They kind of have to be able to do everything at a high level.
Yeah, makes sense. And when you're that big and that strong, it can be a little bit more difficult to have those dominating submissions and things like that, because when you're, especially at the gate, I feel like it's very, very hard to have like a flyweight type of mentality where you're going for a technical and really you're just trying to just smush your opponent. I feel like, so I get that. That makes sense. And
last thing before we move on is at heavyweight, if you can wrestle very well and you're good at takedowns, you can win a lot, because once you get someone up on the ground, they're so heavy that it's harder for them to get up in a way. Like, it takes a lot more energy. So if you can keep taking people down, and that's why someone like a John Jones, who's a very good wrestler, when he fought Gane, he just destroyed him. He just literally took him down and submitted him like it was free, pretty much. And so, I think that's the key. But there's not a lot of guys. Like Cormier was a heavyweight. He was a light. He was a light for a heavyweight, but he was a good wrestler. Cain Velasquez, and you had some people like that. But overall, a lot of these guys just don't have the technique.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, on to a decent women's fight, I thought. Very controversial. Another one. Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Again, eye poking became a huge problem. I don't know if you saw the video of Rose. There was a video, I think, of her talking about the fight, and then like because she was in a medical garb and talking about the eyes thing, and like she seemed pretty upset. I don't know. It could be. I saw on Twitter. I don't know if it was like an old video, but it was right after the fight. That people started posting the video. She seemed pretty upset. She felt like she had that. Another controversial eye poke changed the match. What do you think? What do you think of how Silva played?
I had Silva winning a close decision personally, but if they would have gave it to Rose, I would not have been surprised. Unfortunately, that was probably the most boring Silva fight. It seems like, for me, I think whatever has happened to Rose is she used to be a much more exciting fighter, in my opinion. She's pretty boring, and she is very technical. That's true, but that just technical doesn't mean boring. But she really seems to avoid conflict, which I understand. She's trying not to get hurt, but it really does lend itself to a more boring fight. And Silva clearly won round 3, I thought. So do I think Silva is going to beat Shevchenko is a question. No, I don't actually. So I think Shevchenko is going to hold her down pretty much and win. Yes.
Yeah, it really isn't that crazy much. Like I said, the biggest thing about that fight, I feel like, is again another eye poke, another issue. It just keeps. It's going to be a reoccurring theme with these recaps for the night, because there seem to be such a hard way to manage this. I don't know what Dana White's planning to do about this, because it's really changing fights. And they have to. I know it's a big focus on a lot for the betterment of the sport, but like too many. If one, it's dangerous, right? You get. I mean, Aspinall's been dealing with his eye injury forever now, to the point where it's not even sure if he's going to come back. He's still having symptoms from his surgery. You had Patty, we had Silva and Rose. Like, it is getting excessive, and
I feel like they have to just take a point. Like, I honestly believe if you knew that if you poke somebody in the eye, you were going to point, you'd change the way you fought. You wouldn't hold your hands out like that. but because they don't, and it's the same thing with the fence grab. Now the fence grab isn't as impactful, obviously, as an eye poke, but they always let the first fence grab go without any problem. Like, so for example, if you're getting taken down, you just hold the fence, and then the ref is going to go, "Oh, don't hold the fence," but then it stops your takedown. So it's like a free get out of jail free card at least once. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they let them get away with it again. So I hate the fact that they let fouls go at least once, sometimes twice. They should not let them go. They should take a point. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if I was someone who fought, I don't know. I feel like it's cheap taking advantage of the situation. When you have eye poking like that, especially in the Patty fight, like the one was clearly intentional, clearly put his thumb right in his eye when he was throwing a punch. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't like it. I don't think it's great, and they have to address it right away, because it's going to take out some really good fighters. It's going to start hurting real good people. And like, yes, we want violence, but we don't want people like losing their eyes and losing their sight and having real problems because of something that's preventable.
The risk reward for doing it is so high on the reward side for poking someone in the eye that it's almost like you might as well do it, because if you do it, nothing happens to you, and the other guy can't see. So I mean, it's crazy.
You can't. Yeah, right. It's not like you have protective glasses in fights. You know, you're just it's insane, and I feel like it's just got to stop. They got to do something. On to the co-main event: Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Controversial decision. I don't know why.
I personally didn't think it was that controversial, but some people did.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. Whenever it comes to the close decisions, there's always going to be somebody that's going to be like, "Hey, no way, that was I had this. We're all experts until we have no idea what we're talking about." O'Malley won with 4.5 minutes of striking. Didn't get the knockout that I wanted, but he still was very technical. Looked like he had some confidence behind him. Felt like he was very strong in that. Didn't let Song take over the match with his knockdowns. Was able to get back into the fight, do what he did best. Song obviously was kind of exhausted close to the end of the fight. What do you think of O'Malley's performance? Do you think it gets him back in the good graces? Do you think he's back on top, or are we still not sure?
I think the UFC really likes Sean O'Malley, so I do think it gets back. A win is enough for him. Was it fantastic win? No. Was it enough to get him a title shot? Not in my opinion. But they do like him a lot, and there is one kind of juicy aspect to it is Sean O'Malley on his rise up beat Peter Yan, who's the current champion. And it was a very, very close fight. And I'm talking about probably one of the most controversial decisions I've ever seen in UFC. And Sean won that. And many people thought he lost. I was totally unsure when I watched it. I actually had no idea who won that fight when I was watching it live. But so now Peter Yan is the champion. Sean O'Malley had this, controversial win over him. Sean O'Malley won. It wouldn't surprise me if they gave it, but I do think they're going to give Merab the rematch against Peter Yan. So I don't think anybody else, my personal opinion, is getting that title fight except Merab's rematch.
Oh, fair enough.
As far as Sean's performance goes, he was good, man, but it seemed to me he was tight. It seemed like he was a little nervous because he had just come off a 2-fight losing streak, right? So he's probably playing it very close to the vest, very conservative, you know what I mean? Like trying not to open up at all and doing enough to win, which I definitely think he did. But that doesn't lend to an exciting fight. I think now, though, probably I'm hoping that he's going to get back to his old self. He'll get the confidence back.
Yeah, I think he's still doing pretty well. I like Matt O'Malley. I think he's a fun fighter. I want him to continue to rise. So the better he does, I think it's better for the sport. He's got that swagger that can carry him to the top. So let's hope he keeps going. But I don't know. I just, with the striking and everything like that, I want to see some more like domination. Like he's one that, with the way that he fights, the technical striking he has, he hurts. And it kind of annoys me that I feel like it's always coming down to a controversial decision with him, or it's, I don't know. I just want to see more out of him. I want to see a more dominant factor that he can be, and just really, I want to see him knock somebody out. It's been a while,
Okay.
and I think it's going to be good for his profile if he can use that to his advantage. We'll see who he gets next, but we're going to move on to the main event. Obviously, this was the fight of the night. I would say the knockout of the night, for my opinion, even though it was what it was. So let's go over it. We had Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, fight of the night, TKO in the 4th round. Huge fight. So many. It was just a really fun fight. It was exciting from minute to end. Paddy held up his and was able to. I mean, obviously the story was, could he hold himself? Could he stay 5 rounds? Obviously they didn't make it to round 5, but he definitely was able to keep going. And I think what you were talking about last time with his chin, and he's got to shore that up. He's got to take care of himself a little better. But obviously the big thing, eye poke. Huge change in the motion of the fight. Clearly it affected him. He didn't want it to, but it was just such a big thing. I don't know if you saw his after fight shots.
Yes,
his eyes.
I did, yeah.
Oh my God, that is rough. Gate, and then in round 4 we got the groin shot, but no call there. But that leads into some big shots, and then he gets taken down. So let me hear it. I know you got a lot to say about this fight. So tell me what you got.
Well, just from a spectator starting there, it's one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. Like, as far as just like entertainment, you know what I mean? It was it was just nonstop entertainment. So it wasn't one of the greatest technical fights I've ever seen, but just from an entertainment perspective, it was amazing. And it was nice to see on a card that didn't have a lot of fights like that on it. Well, at least on the main card. So what did I think about the fight? I was surprised actually at how well Paddy took all those shots. I wasn't surprised the way it ended, although I did pick Paddy to win by submission. I was surprised that he didn't try to take Gaethje down at all until the very end of the fight when he was too tired to do so. That was one I thought of his game plan. I don't know why he decided to just have a stand-up fight with Gaethje. I think that was his downfall, to be honest with you. Better for us to watch, though. But not the smartest game plan, at least from my perspective. But yeah, I mean, I thought, he probably thought, hey, you know what? I'm bigger. I think you probably saw that, like, he's bigger in there. I can take the punishment, which he did take the punishment, to credit to him. But taking punishment is not a winning strategy. Now, he did do pretty well. I mean, he won at least one round. I think it was the 3rd round I had it that he won. But 1 round, I think that's realistically all he really won. And I think, honestly, rewatching that, I did rewatch it back. I thought Gaethje kind of took the round off a bit to preserve his energy. And then he came right back and won in round 4, and then, got the TKO. I think that there was a couple egregious fouls, right? There's the eye pokes. That was the worst. The groin shot, okay, yeah, that's going to happen sometimes. I don't think that was intentional or anything. But the eye pokes were really bad. And I think there was 2, right?
Yeah.
So they were really bad. And to me, those things can obviously change a fight for 2 reasons. Number 1 is it impales the fighter's ability to see, number 1. And number 2, I think
kind of important.
Yeah. And the first eye poke, like, basically he didn't get the time for, to recover. And then he just got beat up after that. That's what made it really bad, right? It'd be one thing if you got eye poked and they stopped the fight and gave you 5 minutes. It's another thing to get eye poked and then beat up because you can't see. I mean, that's pretty much what happened. And to me, that actually really impacted the fight. Now, am I going to say he would have won without that? I have no idea. But I'm saying it was definitely impacted the fight. Should have been stopped. Should have been a point taken, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Couple things that didn't surprise me, though. Pimblett hasn't solved his problem of keeping his chin up in the air. And that was obvious. He was just getting cracked. I don't know. I don't know how he survived that punishment. That was pretty bad. But so that's my review. And I think Gaethje did well for 37 years old, man. I mean, he looked a little bit slower, but he's just a beast, man. He's just like a Terminator in there. So
yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I kind of thought that, at some point, like, if you wanted to do it for Paddy to be like, look, the first round, I'm just going to show you how tough I am.
Right.
Perfectly okay with it. Take your shots. You're fresh there. Get it. But at some point, you need to go to your game plan to go with your strong. I think he was so focused because I'm sure the pressure he was hearing what all the internet was saying. You know, I mean, there's still people going off about how this kid doesn't belong, and I think that was what he was trying to show more so than winning the fight. Right. And it bugged me because like you can show off, you can definitely show to people, hey, you know, I'm legit, I can take hits, let me show you. But then go into your game plan. I mean, Patty could have easily had that fight if he just stopped trying to take a hit. I felt like that was his mentality, and he just wanted to. Oh, we got some bots. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Okay, all right.
Let's see if.
Hi bots, how you doing?
Hi bots, yeah.
Okay.
I hate with our 4 viewers. I appreciate the bot love, but but like it just you have to win the game. That's what matters most, and I think he got one-sided too much. I don't like. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
My take on it. Sorry to interrupt you. In a weird way, this is going to sound weird, but it almost might be good for him that he lost, because I don't think he would have had a prayer of beating Ilia Topuria with the way he was.
I don't think Gaethje has a prayer to beat him either.
I don't think so either.
I think it's going to be one of the most, because that's going to be next, right? Like that's going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to be I hope they don't make that the main card. Like
they will. I know.
My
opinion, that's going to be, that could be, I mean, put it this way. That fight has the potential to be super entertaining, but I do think Justin Gaethje gets knocked out. That's number one.
Yeah, I don't think that fight gets out of the first round.
But I think that's going to be on the White House card.
Oh
yes.
Great.
Yeah, I think that's going to be on the White House card. Yes.
I can't wait for that.
That's my opinion.
So I know we talked about it a little bit. Patty definitely got some props. There was a lot of love for him. Where do you see him going from here? Do you think he loses ground? Do you think he's going to have to start? I know Dana was pretty happy with him, but what do you think happens with him? Where's his next steps?
In my opinion, he needs at least 6 months off after that beating. He should not fight for that. If not towards closer to the end of the year, probably would be good for him. Reset. If he wants a real shot at getting back to the title, he's got to fight someone like Charles Oliveira or Arman Tsarukyan. He could probably fight the winner of. There's a fight in March, which is going to be a super entertaining fight, by the way. Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. I could see him maybe fighting the winner of that to get a shot at the title.
Would love to see him fight Holloway. That would be a fun fight.
Yeah. But maybe it's better for him to have a slightly easier fight to kind of after that. Because either it's Holloway or Oliveira, that fight's going to be extremely difficult for him. So I don't know. It depends on what his career goals are. If he wants kind of a fight to get back on the winning streak, I wouldn't recommend the winner of that. But if he wants like a way to get, closer to the title again, that would be what I would suggest.
Yeah, I think I agree. When you have that kind of damage, you need to take a fight that I'm sure Dana will throw him one because he'll need it. But yeah, I mean, overall, pretty decent card. I think we got our money's worth, our $8 from Walmart Plus or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, guess what? My wife works for the Walmart Vision Center, and she gets Walmart Plus for free, so I get Paramount for free. So
oh man, you are winning.
I saved the $8.
There you go. Even still, I think people got their $8 worth. Just to go over the results, you were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 6 in your picks. Bravo. Bravo. There you go.
All right.
It's like you know what you're talking about. Obviously.
Sometimes here and there, I don't know.
If you were a betting man, you would have definitely heard that. So I know we talked about it a little bit. Some of the stories coming out, the eye poking is the biggest one. The one thing I really wanted to cover, because Dana White kind of brought it on himself, Tom Aspinall. A lot of questions about when he's coming back, a lot of questions about what's going on with that. And Dana kind of threw him in the bus. Man, and there's a clip of actually Tom watching Dana's response, and it's looking pretty ugly. I was kind of shocked that Dana had the approach that not shocked, but like it felt really dumb. to have that kind of response when you know, like, you have a problem right now in your fights, and you're one of your best fighters has been knocked out. How long has it been since his last fight?
Oh, I don't remember, but it's been at least
exactly. You don't remember.
Months?
That's the point. It's been too long. And even Danny, who was in here, appreciate Danny. Danny's a huge UFC guy too. He's about to have his second eye surgery, and that's the kind of response you're going to show. Like it rubbed me a little bit the wrong way. I mean, I know Dana's a hype man. He's the face, but I don't know.
Well, Dana's kind of Dana. He's the thing about Dana is that if it wasn't for him, the UFC wouldn't be where it is. That is true.
No, 100%.
He does have some quirks that
I feel like it was just tone deaf of him. Because he has to address this problem. It can't just keep going because it's taking out good fighters. It's changing fights.
Totally.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Tom will be back soon? Do you think he should be stripped of the belt? Because that's a lot of what people are calling for. Do you think they have an obligation to him to let him recover? Bless you. What are your thoughts on it? Let me hear it.
What was it? Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
I said, so obviously, do you think they should strip him of the belt? There's a lot of talking about that. They should be patient with him, and
they should definitely be patient with him. They need to they need to do the rematch again, maybe this summer, maybe at the White House card. That would be a very good fight on the card, actually. A title fight on the card, and that gives them another 6 months or so to get ready, for that. But I'm on Aspinall's side, man. I mean, he got egregiously eye poked, like really bad, twice actually. And one of them was like dug into his eyes, and then he's the one that like is basically getting shit for it. Like, well, how come you're not fighting? Like, it's like, I mean, to me, Gane should have been suspended for that behavior, in my opinion.
Did he get any punishment?
No, absolutely not. It didn't even get a point taken or anything. I mean, it didn't matter because they ended the fight anyway. But I'm just saying, it's pretty bad. To me, if you foul someone like that bad and the fight ends because of it, you should lose. Like,
the no contest thing really bugs me. Like, why is that? If it stops the fight and it was because of an egregious and clear, obvious, like, get that NFL replay, call New York, whatever you gotta do. Like, you can't be having fights end like that and just be like, oops, that I think that adds to what you were talking about with the taking points off. If it's egregious and clearly intentional, just disqualified. That's where you need to really nip it in the bud, because if you don't, you're gonna continue to have this problem. You're gonna continue to have people who are just gonna do whatever they want, and it's not entertaining. And then that's the end of the day. That's what brings the money in for the UFC. Is it going to be entertaining? No, just like watching a dude stomp somebody's feet 20 times because they can't do anything. Like, it's not entertaining. Right. And you're gonna lose some good fighters because eventually it's gonna be grotesque, right? Yep. There's gonna be somebody's eye popping out because they do it the wrong way in the wrong fashion, and then what?
Right.
Like, come on, you can't recover from that. It'll get bad. Right. So I mean, that was the big thing. There wasn't really too much headlines from that. There was one thing I wanted to talk about. Did you see Aaron Tao and his weigh-in?
Yes.
Did you hear about? Oh yes, man, what a blow up! I just wanted to mention it. I just thought it was hilarious. What do you think? Any comments to that, or just like stupid people being stupid?
Are you referring to the passing out at the weigh-in? Is that what you're referring to?
No. There was the cheater. He was trying to.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. He was leaning on the thing, and then he was like using
Cormier.
his heel. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, but Cormier did that one time and got away with it.
Did he really?
He leaned onto a towel. Yeah, he got away with it.
Because he wanted to do that. He was like the weight 7 pounds or something overweight. I just
that would only work if you're like slightly, like a half a pound over.
Yeah. He was like 129 and he needed to be 122 or something like that.
Well, that's not gonna work.
I just want to bring it. It was funny. It was kind of hilarious.
I thought you were okay. I understand. But going back to the passing out, the guy who passed out.
Yeah.
Obviously I feel terrible for him, but at the same time, this is their job, and like, I think these guys they just seem to carry too much weight in their non-fighting weight that it just becomes so hard for them to cut weight. So while I do feel bad about it, nobody said that he should walk around probably 30 pounds heavier than his fighting weight. I mean, that's his decision.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Just the only thing really that was going in. Obviously, we're gonna kind of go through this pretty quick because we got we got a couple good fights. I know you said you were really excited about this. Obviously, first time UFC's done back-to-back number events. Volkanovski gets to defend his belt in Australia, but we're gonna start with the opener. Quillian Sakilid, again, sorry guys, I'm terrible with names. Jamie Malarkey. Lightweight fight. Let's talk about it. What do you like about this fight?
Smaller of the nights, in my opinion. I think this is one of the ones where, I mean, I'm sounding, I don't know, I'm not trying to sound mean, but if this wasn't in Australia, I don't think this opens the card or is on the main card, in my opinion. But that being said, I think this is going to be probably the least amount of talking I have to do, because I think Malarkey is going to get knocked out in the first or second rounds, in my opinion.
Oh, wow.
That's my take on this. I think Salkeed, I think that's how you say his name, potentially. I think he's the real deal. Malarkey's a veteran. He's been getting knocked out a lot. 6 of his 8 losses are by knockouts. That doesn't seem good for someone who has a lot of power like Sakid. So I think this is going to be a bit of a slaughter.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look up real quick. Right now we got, huge money line difference. Quillian is minus 1,000.
Yep. So yeah, that's what I mean. The bettors agree, I think, with my take on that.
Right now the over under is 1.5.
Okay.
So, huge. Jamie is plus 650. So definitely going to be sounding like a quick but goodie. Who you got? You're going with the obvious favorite?
Yeah. I don't even think I'll be shocked if it was anything else but what I said, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right. Moving on. We got the next fight, another heavyweight fight. Tai Tuivasa and then versus Talison Teixeira. Talk about it. What you got?
Well, Tuivasa's on. This is an interesting fight. I went back and forth on this one a lot. Originally, my pick was that Tuivasa was going to lose. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I'm not so sure about that. So Tuivasa is on a 5-fight losing streak. So that, by the way, is very rare. Normally, if you're on a 5-fight losing streak, you're not in the UFC. So there's 2 things. I think the UFC and people and fans just like Tai Tuivasa. They like his fighting style. They like his personality. And if your personality is liked and your fighting style is liked, that gets you extra points with the UFC. I can take that as far as sticking around. And I think that's one of the cases here. I would say, though, Derek Lewis KO'd Talison in 35 seconds. Okay, so that happened, right? For example, Tai did KO Derek Lewis himself, right? And so Tuivasa is no slouch, although he is at a 5-fight losing streak. He looks out of shape from what I saw. That doesn't surprise me that he's out of shape, but he does look way more out of shape than even I remember him being.
Yeah.
So it actually makes me question his seriousness about it. But something is, I'm predicting the upset on this one. I think Tai Tuivasa gets the knockout.
Oh, really?
And it's almost like a feeling more than any kind of rational thought. I don't know. That's what I'm getting of it. Yeah.
So let me throw some stats at you about Teixeira. So there's a big reach difference. You have Teixeira has an 83, while Tuivasa has a 75. So huge reach difference in terms of that. And Teixeira, his records are all first-round knockouts or TKOs. So he's 8-1. So that's pretty significant, I would say. I don't know. I want to believe. I'm always good for a good underdog. Right now, the betting on DraftKings, we have Tuivasa's plus 240. So not as terrible.
Not that terrible. Not that terrible. I think that's a good underdog. If you're going to pick an underdog, that's a pretty good one to pick.
And then Teixeira's minus 298. Over under though is going to be 1.5. So with the over being the underdog plus 185. Right. So clearly they think he's going to continue to do that. I'm gonna say 5 in a row. You're not in shape. You're at a clear disadvantage in terms of at least physically. 83 to 75. How much of an age difference is there? They're pretty similar, right?
Tuivasa is not that old.
No, not at all. So, I mean, based off of this wonderful AI description of their stats, here's another fun fact. Teixeira has landed almost 13 strikes a minute, so it's almost a 60% striking accuracy.
Wow.
So I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like. I feel like that, you read the stats, he's definitely got a lot writing on this. I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna stay with
all right. I mean, it's probably the smart thing to do. This is just a gut feeling. That's all.
Yeah, I got you. Any repercussions for the fight? Did we get anything out of this? Is this just one of those fights that just kind of?
This is. I mean, if Teixeira wins, he could be someone that maybe he fights a wall though, right? Maybe he starts to move up in the heavyweight ranks. But yeah. So that's
all right. Let's move on. Rafael Fiziev and Mercurio Rufy.
Mauricio. Yeah.
Mauricio. I would say Mercurio because I like being wrong.
Like Peter Pan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Rufy versus Fiziev. What you got? What are you looking into this fight? How we feeling?
Potentially fight of the night. Potentially. This is one of this fights, and actually the 3 fights, any of these last 3 fights could be fight of the night in my opinion. So Fiziev lost to Gaethje recently. Fiziev is like an incredible talented striker. He can wrestle, so he's very well rounded. I would say that he's not really a big submission artist, but he's a high level striker, can wrestle. Mauricio Rufy is interesting. Mauricio Rufy is part of this group of people called the Fighting Nerds. And why they're unique is last year, well, not the whole last year, but for about a year and a half, these guys couldn't lose. Anybody that was on the Fighting Nerds roster, they were all undefeated. They were just the biggest thing.
And who were they? And there was 4 of them, right? Who was it?
Gene Silva was in it. There's quite a few people.
It was Patty, right? Too. Was it Patty? In it?
No. There's.
I'm thinking of someone else. Who am I thinking?
There's Bahayo, I think his name is. That's how you pronounce his name. But yeah, so and all of a sudden they started losing towards the end of last year, right? And Mauricio Rufy is one of these guys that's kind of like when you watch him fight, he has a very flashy striker style, a la like a Conor McGregor used to be when he was younger. So naturally, I like that. I like the flash. I like to see the entertainment. He's a big knockout guy, right? Like Conor used to be when he was younger. So I like that. This guy, I don't think though he's technically as sound as Fiziev, but that doesn't mean he can't win. That's why I think this fight is kind of a toss-up, in my opinion. If I had to bet money on it, I kind of think Fiziev might win by a decision, like a very technical, just point fighting almost for Fiziev. And Rufio is going to try to knock him out, but I don't think Fiziev is going to be there a lot for it. So now if Rufio wins, it probably will be by knockout. I don't think he's going to win by a decision. That's my take on it. So it could be very exciting if Mauricio Rufy wins. Give me that Mauricio Rufy wins. But the other angle is Fiziev wins by decision. I think those are the 2 options. And if I had to bet, I'd pick Fiziev by decision.
Yeah. Speaking of that, right now Fiziev is at minus 115, so he is the favorite, while
very slight favorite,
minus 105. So it's going to be a close one. It seems like.
Right
now the over under is 2.5, with it going over being minus 175. So looks like it'll be a good fight. I'm always going for the striker. I remember the big story about the Fighting Nerds, but seems like the magic's gone. So, but I'm gonna hope they returns. I'm gonna put Rufy on there. I like what you're telling me. You know, he was on a 7-fight win streak before that.
It was,
And he really took that loss seriously because he's training with Volkanovski. So he clearly wants it. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with it, and yeah, let's go for a knockout. I need a very flashy knockout.
You might get. That's why I said it's one of those fights that has the potential to be an amazing fight, but also has the potential to be like a point fight. You know what I mean? It could go either way, but that's why it's interesting to me.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we got co-main event, Mr. Dan Hooker, Mr. Benoit Saint Denis.
Now, I don't bet on UFC a lot, but when I have, I've made some money on Dan Hooker. So I thought about this one, okay? And I don't bet period a lot, but when I do, it seems to be on a Dan Hooker card. So, so maybe I should bet this card tonight. Both fighters are quick turnarounds, right? They are. And I'm telling you here, I'm thinking there might be a couple underdogs here. So 3-1 Saint Denis, that's how you say his name, Benoit Saint Denis. He's a 3-1 favorite. All right. A 3-1 favorite. All right. And I can see why. The guy has a lot of power. He's very strong, and he can wrestle. But I don't think his wrestling is at the level of the Dagestani guys and all that, right? And I think to take Hooker down, I think you might have to be at that. I mean, I think Hooker's wrestling defense is good. I think it's very good. And Hooker is a dog, man. I kind of think people are sleeping on Hooker, and this is my second upset of the night I'm picking, actually. 3-1 favorite is gonna lose is my take on it.
Yeah, Dan Hooker has won me some money too, so I'm gonna go continue the money grab. Right now, the fight right now is, like you said, Benoit is minus 375, almost 4-1 odds at this point. Dan Hooker is plus 295. Over under is 1.5, so they don't expect it to be a long fight. With the
I'm predicting a knockout by Saint Denis because he's very strong.
Obviously. I mean, they definitely have that. Look, I'm excited. I want that guaranteed violence, so I'm excited for this fight. And I'll have like I said, I want to have some really juicy things to talk about next time we talk about these fights, because it's been so many decisions, and it's kind of like you get to be technical about it, but I want to be able to just be like, maybe we can watch some clips about it, because we're just like, holy shit, did you see? I think this card is the fights overall. I think it needs more flair on it, and I think that'll be a good one. And then obviously main event, Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes 2. It wasn't close in their last match. Had a few moments, Lopez, but Volk is Volk. Really stayed on top. What do we see happening? What do you like? What don't you like? And
I see. Number one, let me just say this: Alexander Volkanovski, as a person, as a fighter, love the guy. He's one of my like probably top 5 or 6 in the UFC. I just love watching his fight. I think he's a great guy. I love his attitude. He doesn't back down from anybody. He's not afraid to move up, to challenge. He even challenged Islam Makhachev on short notice, moved up in a lightweight and things like that. So I love this guy. My fear, though, is at the lighter weights, these guys, when they get older, they slow down. And he did get caught one time in the last fight by Lopez. And he won like 23 out of the 25 minutes or so. I mean, he basically won that fight very convincingly, right? But Diego Lopez has so much power that even the slightest bit of slowdown by age might get you knocked out or TKO, right?
You have a 6-year difference in age right now. So
I'm a little worried. That this is Volkanovski's last fight.
Really?
I think if he gets knocked out, it might be the end. Now, if he wins, I actually think he might move up to lightweight. give it a shot there. But the point is,
7-4. Yeah, he's got a lot of fights under his belt for sure.
I really like the guy, and I kind of think Lopez might take this one. Now, if Volkanovski goes out there and kind of schools him like he did last time, would that shock me? Absolutely not. I think Volkanovski actually is technically a better fighter than Diego Lopez. But I'm almost just going with the age thing at this point. It has actually nothing to do with Volkanovski's skill as a fighter. So I think Volkanovski is a better fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just go with the favorite, make it simple. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty surprising. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if that happens, because if he retires, if he loses, because you're pretty spot on. But you go with the favorite, and I'm excited to see. I know we kind of blew through a lot of it really quickly just because of time, but we still got 5 minutes. So I just want to ask you. Well, let me cover bets first. Right now, money line is Volkanovski -142. So it hasn't moved around too much. Diego Lopes 120. Over under is 4.5. So they do expect it to go the distance. Vegas is saying this fight's going to be a long one. Might go all the way. I hope not.
That's because they predict Volkanovski is going to win, and he doesn't have a lot of power. So they predict that he's going to win, just like last time, with a very probably, win almost every round. That's what they're probably predicting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, just to highlight again, we didn't really. Do we know which way Chris bets? Do we know Chris bets? So I know which way to fade. Unfortunately, not. I don't think. If Chris is out there, I would love to hear. Hold on. Oops, sorry. I would love to hear if he has anything. If not, we'll have to keep out a look on our Facebook, Twitter, whatever, TikTok. I'm sure they'll put that out there. But any repercussions from any of these fights, anything that's going to cause a huge rift? Do you think this is going to be a big story night? Any of these fights really going to change the dial for the future cards?
The story could be the end of Volkanovski's career, unfortunately. It could be. Now, knowing Volk, if he loses, he's going to want to come right back and get a rematch. That's what he's going to want, right? But I'm almost wondering, it depends. If he gets knocked out, if he loses, it's going to be by knockout. I don't think he's going to lose by decision. That's number one. So if he gets knocked out, it's like, you're 37, you're getting knocked out. Do you really, maybe his wife talks to him. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time. You made a lot of money. So that's what my fear could be a story. The other storyline is, man, Volkanovski is just cleaning the division here. He's basically just dominating all these top contenders. And the guy is, one of the best UFC fighters of all time. He already is, based on his resume. But if he wins this one, I think it's just he could be even in the top 5 potentially. So shout out to that. As far as the other storylines go, if Mauricio Rufy wins by knockout and it's exciting, I could see him getting kind of escalated in the lightweight division up to likes of, maybe fighting a Paddy Pimblett, actually.
Any title shots for anybody if they win, or any opportunity for a belt?
A direct title shot, I don't see it if they win. But to me, Mauricio Rufy, if he wins very convincingly, exciting knockout, he could be someone that's one fight away. Okay. It depends on who they give him. So, for example, let's say that in March, so next month, there's the Oliveira versus Holloway BMF title.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That's my boy. I can't wait. Can't wait for that one.
And Oliveira is my favorite fighter, so and I know you love
Holloway. Oh, we're going to be on opposite ends then. This is going to be a real...
So, and I love Holloway too, but Oliveira is...
No, Holloway's my dog. I love him. Okay. So we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, so for me, I could see the winner of that. If Rufy does a great job, he could fight the winner of that fight. And then you're talking about if he beats that person, he could get a title shot, or he's one fight away. So that's one thing.
All right. Well, that was our breakdown of 324 plus our expectations for 325. Definitely tune in tonight. When's the fight starting tonight, Mr. Troy? When's the
main card starts at 9 Eastern? I think the prelims start at 7, something like that.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So we'll definitely be watching. Definitely keep it out. Next time we meet will be in March. because that's the next card. We're only, I mean, no, we haven't really talked about it, but I feel like we should only be probably meeting for like the big cards, not the fight nights and stuff like that. We can shoot the shit if we want to on that, but I feel like the big cards are where the conversation's at. So definitely tune in for that. That'll be March 7th. That'll be probably either the day before, somewhere around that time. We'll talk about it, even if it's not directly on the 7th. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you, Troy, once again. Really appreciate you coming out, spending an hour with me talking about things that clearly I don't know about enough. No,
it's always. But the good news is you're learning as you're doing it, though.
That's the whole purpose of this. Is like I love UFC, but I want to get more technical with it. So it's a great feeling to keep getting involved. I'm excited for the fight, and again, just really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're watching the rewatch, or if you are currently not following, please like and subscribe. Gives us more opportunity to talk about this. We want to continue to grow, and just really appreciate you tuning in. Troy, any last words?
No, I'll just say here's to an exciting year of UFC fights, and you know what we should do, Ray? Maybe sometime in February, let's do a recap of 325, and there's probably let's just do a mid-February episode.
Okay.
Different ongoing drama.
Yeah, there's something's gonna happen in a month. It's a month's time. So
and also other fight cards that may be happening in February that we might want to point out certain fights to check out. Or
okay, all right, you heard it here first, guys. So thank you guys again tuning in, and as always, like and subscribe, and be on the lookout for more content from Kaiju Live. Take it easy, everybody.
Take care.
Go Birds. And